Good morning. Okay, I have to admit this is the first time that I've done this. So this is something new for me, good for me for getting out of my comfort zone, and we're going to try something new. Okay, so you obviously are interested in being a counselor for Youth for Freedom. And I am so excited about that because even that decision or that desire of yours will start shifting things in your life. Whether you're chosen or not, this is a mentoring tool that I'm going to share with you today. The assignment, homework, whatever, mentoring tool, whatever you want to call it, however it fits in your life, that I'm going to share with you is part of the process of applying to be a counselor with us for Youth for Freedom. And it entails all sorts of things that we're looking at for you. Your level of commitment. Will you be able to complete the process? Are you going to do some of the things that we've asked and then leave some out? There's a lot of different things that we're looking at for in this process. And so congratulations on listening to this and entering the whole gamut of Youth for Freedom, just even working on applying and coming to play with us this year. Okay, so what it is that you get to do, it's called Writing Your Story, and it is actually really, really fun, and I'm excited for you guys to do this. I just completed it myself. I'll never ask you to do something that I'm not willing to do myself, and so that's kind of fun. I'm not saying that I'm not going to ask you to do something I've not mastered. I am not, definitely not able to say that. And so a lot of the things that I coach on and mentor on and teach on are things that I'm trying to learn myself. So this is something that I've just completed, and I've already learned a bunch of different things through doing the process, and I invite you to do the same. Okay, so what we're going to ask of you is to write up your story. Now this isn't, you take where you're at right now. My story is about where I want to be. Let me get that in the picture. So it's in the future. So it's things that I don't necessarily have already in my life, but it's things that I want. And so it's all about my progression and my journey and my vision of where I'm headed. Okay, so this story isn't writing up things that you actually have and are being in this moment. It's what you want in the future. Could that be next year? Could it be 10 years from now? None of that matters. All of that is up to you. Totally up to you. What you're going to do, it's going to look like this. You're going to take your computer and do a half margin on the tops and the sides. So 0.5 of a margin on all sides. You're going to start on the top left-hand corner. You're going to fill every single space, no indentations, no double spacing, and you're going to go clear down to the right-hand corner, filling every single space possible. Telling you, this is a mental picture of what it is that you want in life and where you're headed. And so it tells your brain that there's no spaces, there's no indentations, there's no loopholes, that you're going to fill every possible space with something that you want. Oh my gosh, it's exciting. Okay, so there's 8 different categories that you can include. You can totally focus on one if you want. That's totally up to you. You can focus on 2 or 3 that you're struggling with or that you're very interested and passionate about. You can cover all 8 of them depending on where you're at in your life. It is totally up to you. I'm going to list all 8 categories so that you have them to progress from. Okay, so the first one is emotional. Second one is physical. Third is financial. Fourth is social. Fifth is mental. Sixth is sexual. Now you can include this if you're not married and you don't want to talk about your sexuality. You don't have to include it. It's in a very uplifting, respectful way. For example, I'm talking about being deeply connected to my husband, and when I look into his eyes, that we are intimately able to see each other's souls, that kind of stuff. It's very respectful. You can include that or not, like I said. The 7th is spiritual. And then the 8th is kind of a tier off of spiritual, which is spiritual gifts. Different gifts that you are excited to implement and have in your life. For example, I am looking to have in my life the gift of discernment, knowing good from evil. And it doesn't matter what religion you are, what background, you want, if you're headed for these different types of spiritual gifts, you're wanting to study them and implement them and pull them into your life, put it on your paper. Okay, so this is your story. You just start typing and go. There's no right or wrong. It only can be 1 page. And so that's a mistake that I made. So I started going, and I just kept going and kept going and kept doing 2.5 pages. And so I had to start over because I'm learning to be clear and concise. And so it has to be 1 page, not front and back, just 1 page. You can see it. As soon as you're done with your story, I want you to email us at yffleaders@gmail.com and email us your story. I will also send you a copy of my story at that point in time, and any of the other leaders who want to include their story, because we'll start making a binder, creating everyone that you influence to write their story. You get a copy of that and put it in your binder. So all of you who are completing this assignment, your stories will be read by me and put in my binder. And anything that I can do to help implement your story and help you create the things that are on there, I'll totally look at and be able to add my energy towards. So welcome to your very first assignment in trying to be a counselor or there's all sorts of other positions that if you're interested in joining us on the Youth for Freedom journey, you're welcome. And this is your assignment. We'll see how you do. I'm looking forward to reading your stories. I think I've covered everything. If you have questions, feel free to ask. And I already know that I love you and I think you're beautiful.